What's up, guys? I'm Red.
I'm STUNNA Steve.
Welcome to another exclusive John Wrestling Smackdown review. The date is Friday, May the 30th. We just watched a pretty good Smackdown coming out of Knoxville, Tennessee. There's a lot of to unpack here. We're going to try to do it pretty quickly. So let's get you guys started off. We're just going to go down the page and let you guys know what happened. By the way, we've been doing this for a few weeks now. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to the videos, we do something called SCLU or poo, right? So that's pretty much a up and down kind of thing, a good or bad. So
Yep.
if it's exclusive, we say it's SCLU. If it's poo, it was bad, then you guys will know. So opening up the show, we had a return, which is always a SCLU thing, of Bianca Belair.
Hometown.
Bianca Belair returns in her hometown, so she's happy to be back. All of a sudden, Naomi comes out, uh, you know, wanting to reconcile. Bianca was not down for that.
Not having it.
So they beefed for a little minute, and
And
Jade
Jade
Cargo
comes out.
came out, to pretty much save her because I mean Bianca was in heels and Naomi was about to attack, and
And, she still had that finger.
apparently Naomi broke into Bianca Belair's parents' house today as well.
I was
so
hoping we were going to get like a Randy Orton Triple H type of
yeah,
footage.
that was a little something. So I like where this is going though. So Jade came in for the save, and then we had Nia directly come out for the triple threat qualifier, which was a pretty good match. So
We'll give
far,
that a screw.
we'll give the segment a screw and the match a screw.
We'll give the winner a screw. I actually kind of liked it.
Naomi picks up the win. She's heading to Money in the Bank. I love it. I think she's got a lot of, I think she. I think she could really do this. I really do. She's got a lot of potential in this division as a champion, and especially a briefcase holder.
Yeah.
I'm ready for a caution briefcase or something.
Yeah.
So pretty exclusive, if I shall say. Now, I will say we had a couple technical difficulties tonight. We weren't able to go live on Instagram for some reason, and we were a little behind as well for uploading. So not everything I upload may be in order, or I should say, not everything that we talk about may be completely in order because of how I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But
we'll try our best.
We'll try our best. So I don't know this is exactly next, but R-Truth. Well, actually, we saw
R-Truth backstage.
We saw a return. Little Jimmy is back.
Little Jimmy.
Super Screw segment, hilarious. He called JC Mateo. He said he was Solo's husky son.
Yeah, and so we had the Husky Son versus R-Truth in a match right after that.
Yeah, so that obviously sparked a match. We saw the return, which we have both been recently asking for, of R-Truth What's Up entrance, but the rapping.
Yeah.
So we finally got that back. That was great for me to see. We also got the debut of a new song for JC Mateo, which was
a little Def Rebel-y.
I'm going to give it a poo on that song.
It wasn't great. I mean,
it could have done better. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if he was in a Royal Rumble, you wouldn't be able to tell who that was until you saw the name pop up.
Yeah. We also saw, like I said, don't know if this is exactly in order, but we saw Chelsea Green backstage. Her face was really banged up. She had a bedazzled mask on. She wants a recount from Crooked Zelina Vega.
Crooked Zelina.
So that was a SCLU segment. That was funny.
Yeah.
You think it was SCLU?
Yeah, that was definitely SCLU.
This ended up, we got a match between Zelina Vega and Alba Fire later on tonight. So always good. At the end of the R-Truth JC Mateo match, JC picked up the win pretty easily.
Yeah.
JC and Solo went for the beatdown. Before they could do that, Big Jim popped up, comes in to save R-Truth. Here's what was interesting about this segment. And I'll say the match and the segment, this whole thing was SCLU, just because they didn't want to attack Big Jim because they're trying to recruit him.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen because we saw a clip posted later of R-Truth and Jimmy. R-Truth and Jimmy.
That's technically Jimmy.
Yeah, technically. I keep calling him Big Jim, and then I said Jim. I was thinking about Little Jimmy. There's a lot of Jims here,
A lot of Jims.
A lot of Jims.
Maybe that's who he thought he was talking to with that promo.
Maybe. But I think that they're going to end up teaming up against them or something. Because later on in the night, we'll explain, but you'll see this. I definitely don't think that Jimmy Uso is joining the Timu bloodline. Not even a bloodline.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call it the Timu bloodline. It's just Solo and gang.
So that was SCLU. That was SCLU. Directly following that, we had the Street Profits coming out.
And we could tell something was coming here. It was
Yeah.
pretty obvious.
So they had a kind of a new entrance thing I wanted to mention where they came out with they always come with the smoke,
smoke.
but through the backstage smoke is right. It was cool.
Yeah.
Y'all can check out the clip on our page. That was Screw. Essentially, they come in the ring, address what happened last week, and then all of a sudden, here comes Fraxium. Here comes Motor City Machine Guns. Here comes DIY. Fraxium wants a rematch. Everybody else was like, well, you got your match. We want
We won a
we
match.
want a title match. You're handing them out, All of a sudden, boom, lights go out. The Wyatt Six in the ring. Once again, another week, lay everybody out. This was a very super Screw segment.
Oh, yeah.
We love to see the Wyatts.
Super Screw. I mean,
Super Screw.
very similar to what happened last week, but we also got a little something added on to that. I don't know if you just want to bring that up now. But after that, a couple, segments go by, and we had a nice video package just kind of explaining why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah, so it was very short. It was very sweet, but it was Screw. We haven't seen a Wyatt 6 video package in a while, so I definitely enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to see what's going on with the tag division and everything like that. Yeah. It's going to be Screw. Couple other things on the card that we had. This was really cool. So we had Los Garza
Very good match
versus Ray Phoenix and NXT's Javon Evans. This was a banger. This was Screw. And Los Garza ended up picking up the win due to Ethan Page. Yeah, that's right. You heard it right. All Ego Ethan Page was on SmackDown and cost Javon the match, building their feud up in NXT. I really liked this. It was a super Screw, in my opinion.
I mean, Javon Evans, Ray Phoenix, and All Ego Ethan Page are going to be in a fatal four-way for that NXT North American Championship at Worlds Collide. So it definitely made sense to have these guys kind of have some TV time. Because, there's fans. I mean, we know of NXT. We know most of NXT people, and we see clips all the time. But there's fans that don't watch the show at all.
For sure.
When they're going to check out Worlds Collide, which is going to be on WWE YouTube, not on Peacock. By the way.
Is it really?
Yeah, they just talked about it on when they promoted it. I was like, wow. But anyways, so
anybody can watch it for free.
Yeah, I was glad that Javon Evans and Ethan Page were shown to show normal, regular WWE fans that just check out Raw and SmackDown who they are. So I definitely like that. That was a big Screw for me.
It was a big Screw. Then we had the match with Alba Fire and Zelina. Pretty good match, honestly. I guess I'll give this a Screw, Or actually, you know what? I'm going to give this a poo. I'm going to give it a poo. Just because I think that this feud has ran its course.
Yeah.
And I do want to see more from both of them, but I don't think that Zelina's going to lose the title after she just, I mean, if she is, make it happen if you're going to do it, but I don't think you're going to do it.
If they were to do it, they would have done it at Saturday Night's main event. So I just feel like it's time to move on.
I'd like to see Chelsea and the Secret Harvest go after something else, do something else, maybe a feud with somebody else, just there's not many people on the roster. I don't know what you can do, or at least add somebody into this mix or something.
Yeah.
We did see her take off the mask, accidentally knock out Piper Niven.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah.
Zelina Vega ended up picking up the win. So, I'm going to give that a poo.
Yeah.
We saw Carmelo Hayes and The Miz backstage, little hype-up promo.
This was Screw, in my opinion. Mainly because Carmelo Hayes, the whole time he's been in SmackDown, we kind of felt like it was like he's just kind of floating along, kind of like how Austin Theory had been and Grayson Waller. And we just kind of felt like he wasn't living up to his potential, and he was just kind of being just there. And then, they added him along with Miz, and then they kind of did this thing where Miz kind of teaching him, guiding him, telling him what to do. And Melo was like, hold up.
Yeah.
I did this. My talent did this.
Yeah.
Like, you may say you got me this match, but I'm the reason I got here. And he put Miz on notice. And Miz didn't like it. It definitely kind of stung a little bit for him.
I'll give this a Screw, too. I definitely think that before it was like The Miz was up here and Melo was down here. And that's how The Miz always wants things.
Yeah.
But Melo wants it to be right here.
If not.
Yeah, he wants them to be a team.
Yeah.
He's okay with the mentorship, of course. Former WWE champion. Former Money in the Bank winner.
Grand Slam champion.
Former a lot of things. But he definitely wants to be recognized for his talent and not just something that the Miz has done for him.
Yeah.
But Screw segment, nevertheless. We also saw a Julia video package.
This was very nice.
This is exactly what I was kind of saying, how they need to add somebody else in this, and they just did with Julia, because her and Zelina Vega had a heated backstage moment with some water pouring on some shirts and stuff.
Not really a shirt, but
Yeah, on a certain
area of the body.
a female autonomy. But yeah, it was actually
That was a clue.
it was a big slew. We're never gonna it was a big slew.
Yeah.
Y'all can check that out on our page. Check out the reaction to it. But big slew. I like where they're going with this. I'm very interested.
Yeah.
Let's see. Damian Priest returns essentially. I mean, not return,
Yeah,
but
but
from first time back since Saturday Night's
he
main
gives us
event.
some answers on what we had no idea what was next for him.
Well, he's done with Drew. Drew might be gone for a while, which sucks, but he is ready for Jacob Fatu and the United States Championship. That's his next target. So that's going to be interesting. They've had a little bit of a feud before, but not one-on-one. I'm okay with it. I think that we can actually build something out of this.
Yeah, I like
probably
the
get some
feud.
good
I like
matches.
the feud. It's a clue.
Even if it's just 1 or 2 matches, I think it can be pretty good. I do think that eventually, that's probably for another video, but Solo and JC are going to screw this up. He's going to cost them the title.
Yeah.
But that was pretty slew. We did see Fatu come out face-to-face, not a respect. This went into Fatu's triple threat Money in the Bank qualifier match against Andrade and Carmella. Banger. This was super slew. Damian Priest thing, pretty slew. So, I enjoyed this.
Great success.
It was a great match. The ending was very unexpected because I had Fatu winning.
I think everybody in America had Fatu winning.
Second was going to be Miller.
Yeah.
Andrade was there to take the pin.
That's what we thought.
Andrade won the match.
We were wrong.
Andrade is going to Money in the Bank.
That's 2 Money in the Banks in a row he's been in.
Yeah. And essentially, Solo and JC had cost Jacob the match on accident, trying to do...
I don't think it was on accident at all. He already hit his finisher, and Solo goes up on the apron after the finisher to tell him to do it again.
Yeah.
Why? Because Solo's already qualified. Why would he want Fatu in the match?
He's got a pretty good point. So you have a pretty good point there. I think that things are going to get interesting between Solo and JC and Fatu. But nevertheless, it was a great match. It was big screw. Andrade is heading to Money in the Bank. All right, let's see. What else do we have here after that?
We had Fatu losing his mind.
Yeah, he was crashing out.
Yeah.
That was a big screw. We love the Fatu crash outs.
Yeah.
We got a little preview for Raw, which I'm not really going to address this too much.
Oh, we will address it. Karrion Kross is in the qualifying match. It's a big, giant poo.
Yeah, we're going to do a whole separate video on this, though, so... I don't even want to talk about it, but
way to go, WWE! You just added a whole new poo on a SmackDown when it didn't even have anything to do with the SmackDown.
Yeah. So other than that, this was a big screw of mine. We saw LA Knight
cut a mean promo.
Backstage, mean promo. Aleister Black comes up to him. I see a little feud coming up here. I like this.
Worries me that means LA Knight's not going to win.
Yeah, that's my big issue is that y'all introduced this before Money in the Bank, and I want LA Knight to win. I don't think that Aleister cost it because they're both faces. Mm-hmm. I don't know how it's all going to work out. I actually kind of want LA Knight to win the whole thing.
Me too.
So, it was a big screw segment there.
But you did just skip over. That wasn't just the Raw preview. That was.
Did I miss something?
It was an announcement for Worlds Collide. Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice are teaming up against 2 AAA women's wrestlers.
Oh, okay. I think that was already announced, actually.
Oh, was it really?
It was. It was already announced. But other than that, we were on the main event of the evening. So,
very nice.
Main event. I'll let you start off with. You saw a little bit more of it than I did.
Yeah, I did I saw Cody Rhodes return. He got a massive pop at his entrance. I sang it word for word.
Cody Raheem Rhodes.
Yeah, and people were chanting Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
Glad to have him back on SmackDown for the first time since before WrestleMania. That was definitely a big screw. Obviously, I do think kind of was a little lackluster. He kind of just talked about how he's had some reflection while he was gone, and I talked about the final boss, and I'm never going to hesitate with John Cena again. And then pretty much says, you guys seem a little hungry. You guys want to yeet? which then leads to Jey Uso coming out. And then they do a whole yeet session throughout an entire commercial break. Not so yeet.
Yeah.
Not so screw. And then come back from commercial break. We about to run it back. Thank God for the GOAT. John Cena, he stops it in its tracks. We're not having another yeet session because I probably would have lost my mind. You know, people in America had no idea that what happened. I mean, we're in America, but, you know, we have ways to watch commercials, and it was just like, oh my God, we're going to have to watch this again.
Yeah.
Wasting all this time on yeeting.
I don't know how I feel about this segment, you know. A promo battle between them, and then, you know...
John Cena came out, Logan Paul came out.
Yeah, you know, they ended up, you know, arguing and
there
fighting.
There were some bars.
There was some good bars. Like,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, the segment itself was screw.
Yeah, screw.
But for me, just having this match is poo.
Yeah.
I'm not really into the match, to be honest with you.
The two world champs are not defending their tag match. Like, yeah, I get it.
To me, it's meaningless.
Yeah.
You're wasting one of John Cena's matches to team with Logan Paul at Money in the Bank when he should be against CM Punk, or like if he would have fought CM Punk, you could have had Karrion Kross in the match, and like that's a whole other thing to get into. But just overall, man, segment was glue. I'm sure the match will be good.
Yeah.
So I'm just not looking forward to it as much as I should be.
Yeah, I mean,
if they want us to, they better do something.
Yeah.
To get us there, you know. But they probably won't because it's all just star people.
Yeah.
Just what it is, star-studded lineup.
Cody and Jay and the night on top. Logan and John also didn't quite seem on the same page the entire line.
They did not.
John was trying to dip, not trying to brawl. Logan was like insistent, like, "Hey, let's beat these guys up." Until Cody said something that was like, "What's wrong, John?" Blah blah. I don't know what he said.
Something about Logan shining Cena as peacemaker.
Yeah.
Y'all know what that means.
Yeah, and then
y'all know what I mean.
John Cena was like, "That's it," and then they start brawling. Cody and Jay remain on top. Maybe that's signs of, you know, a little spoiler ahead of Money in the Bank, or, you know, John Cena and Logan Paul win. Who knows? But that's the end of the review. Now it's time to get the rating going. It's a little hard for me to rate this one. Wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I'm going to go 6.5 out of 10.
Okay, I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay.
I was thinking 7 in my head. Like I said, we had a lot of screws here. There was a few poos. You know, some of my favorite things, like the matches were really good overall. Like, you know, having Javon Evans in there, the Fatu match, like all that stuff was, to me, even like the opener match with Jade and everything. Yeah. There was also a few other good promos. And I got to see the Wyatts again. I got to see Cena. Yeah. So it honestly should be a little higher than a 7, but I'm going to stick at 7 just cause, based on how I felt watching the show. But give it a 7. Overall, it was good. We've got Raw this Monday. We will be live on all platforms. Make sure to check us out. Always, you know, like, comment, subscribe. And, you know, next weekend, we got Money in the Bank and Worlds Collide. So we got a lot coming up for you guys, man. A lot coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm Red.
I'm STUNNA Steve.
As always, keep it exclusive.